My father was Stevie Wonder's drummer, and they went to England on tour. She goes to the concert and she saw my father on the bandstand, and he looked down at her, she looked up at him, and they connected. My mother got on the train and went to London. The problem with that was that she was married and she had a kid. She had a 2-year-old. They went to London, hung out for the day, missed the train, and here I am. She had me in 1968, and in England, white women were not having black babies back then. It was still, although it was England, it was still taboo. You shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. It was a very, society and all that. I have an older brother and a younger brother and 2 younger sisters, and I'm the only black kid in the family. I didn't even know that I was until I was told. This lady pulled me up in the street one day, and I was out just playing, and she said, those aren't your parents. By this time, my mother was married to another white guy, so she'd gone, my father had came back to America and they'd lost contact. So they had to talk with me, and I was 5, so it didn't really register too much, but I kind of was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and like little things started to make a bit of sense to me. And then as I got older, it was just like, okay, now, this is weird, but yeah, I grew up in an all-white household, all-white family. It was difficult, it was challenging sometimes. My stepfather left the home, and left. My mother had 2 daughters with him. He left the home, which was, shocking, sad, because that was my dad type of thing. He took me on. Great guy. And so that was quite heartbreaking. I felt a deep sense of loss. So that was, I think, my first memory of rejection and being left behind. So that has absolutely stuck with me my whole life, up to right now. My mother went on to, she had a dating life, whatever, she was dating this guy, and at the age of 10, he came into our room late at night and molested me in the most awful way. And that was the major turning point of my entire life. Everything changed right then, right at that moment. My whole life, my memories, all gone. Everything just changed. It was a very, very traumatic time for me.